Hi, everybody. My name is Travis Brandner, and I am here with the wonderful, talented Robert DeLong.
How you doing?
You want to say hi to everybody who's watching on YouTube and the internet?
Hi, YouTube and the internet. I'm Robert DeLong. Hello. Good to see you, or for you to see me.
Thank you for talking to me.
Sure.
So, Just Movement was released 6 years ago. It's probably been a really long 6 years. Can you just tell us how has your life changed in 6 years since the first record?
Oh goodness. Obviously, it's changed in a pretty drastic way. When I was working on Just Movement, I was teaching drum lessons and living in an apartment with 4 other people, and I wasn't touring really, and it was like kind of around when I released that record that I started full-time touring. And yeah, I mean, my life has just totally changed. I've moved 3 times since then. I've played probably 1,500 shows, and I've gotten in shape. I've gotten fat. I got in shape again. All those things. So yeah.
Well, it just seems like it's just everything is just better and better every time I see something new, and I'm happy for you, and I just hope it keeps going and going. So
Thanks. Yeah.
So follow up to that, this tour hasn't been going that long, right? How has it been so far? Is there something really memorable that's happened so far, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're on, this will be the 3rd show of the tour tonight here in Cincinnati, and it's been great. It's Morgan's an amazing direct support artist. We met in L.A., and he's a lot of fun, and he's got a great voice and a cool vibe, and so far it's been cool. I mean, Chicago the first night, and last night we were in beautiful Milwaukee, which was great at the Rave Bar. Great party vibes, and getting your sea legs touring again is always takes a couple shows to get back into it. But I feel like we're back in our stride. It's like we never left.
I feel like a really big part of your live show that's always been really special for me to watch is the fact that you play a lot of non-conventional things on stage. I have to mention like the video game peripherals. What does it mean to you to play your dance music with these peripherals and the non-conventional things versus just more traditional means?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it started out of necessity because I was like a poor college student and I had these things laying around. I was just like, well, shoot, let's hack them instead of spending $400 on a fancy MIDI controller. But then once I started using them, 2 things. Like, obviously, it's exciting because people know what these are, right? People have played Nintendo 64 or used a joystick before or something. But for me, the thing about it that's interesting is that as an interface, it's an interface that you're kind of like intimately familiar with already, and sort of to me, with digital music especially, anything can be an instrument. Anything can be used to control sound, and you end up with unexpected results using a non-conventional interface maybe. So yeah, I don't know. It's just fun, and I think people can relate to it. And for me, it's what I've been doing, and I've kind of like slowly perfected it into what it is now. Yeah.
Well, I always really liked it, and I'm sure everybody else really liked it. I think it's awesome personally. So looking at your social media now, it looks like there's something that I couldn't describe other than it's some sort of a laser drum machine.
We got lasers, baby.
Can you explain that to me? Because I have no idea what that is, and it looks amazing.
It's called a laser harp, and it's anywhere between 5 and 15 beams of whatever color you want to choose. And you break a beam, it sends a note to the computer, and then you have like vertical control of it as well. And I use it to control a variety of different sounds for different songs. And it's fun. It's nerdy. I first saw Jean-Michel Jarre, sort of an electronic music pioneer or electronic music performance pioneer, and he started using it back in the late 80s or something like that. And that was kind of where I got the idea for it. And then contacted some guy in Italy, and he made it and sent it to me with very minimal instructions in English. And here we are.
Well, it looks awesome, and I hope it kind of becomes one of your signature things because I've never seen it before, and it looks great.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's too bad I can't use it during the day. It has to be dark to use it. Obviously.
I didn't even think of that, but I guess that makes sense. No festival days that will not be there.
Yeah, not unless it's at night. Book me at night.
So another question I have, since there is all this technology and stuff being created, will you give us a quick rundown of what your PC's like? Is it a custom build?
Oh, my computers? Yeah, so I have I run 2 computers on stage. I have they're both Macs, so I have a MacBook Pro, and it's like a spec'd out MacBook Pro that's a few years old. 13-inch, and then I have a Mac Mini that's doing all my MIDI conversion and then running my like vocal effects and looping. So one computer is more just like digital audio that I'm controlling, or it's like tracks or whatever, and then the other computer is all the like control for my vocal effects and stuff like that, and everything's linked through Dante straight to the console, and it's very nerdy and very interconnected. Yeah.
Is it as complicated as it looks?
I think so. I mean, to me, it's like, it's just something I've been working on for years, so I'm intimately familiar with it. But yeah, it's pretty complex, and it takes a while to explain to even my friends who are nerdy, audio engineer types. So, yeah.
What advice would you give to people who are just starting out, who see the stuff you do, and like who would even want to dabble in anything like that? Like, is there any advice for people starting out?
Just don't do it. It's a giant rabbit hole. It'll cost you a bunch of money. Honestly, with all this stuff, you can learn anything you want on the internet, and I think it's just about finding what is interesting to you and finding creative ways to do something that are unique to you. Yeah, I don't know, and I think really the biggest thing is just keep doing stuff until you kind of find something that you like and that works. I've tried for everything that you see me do on stage, I've probably tried 15 different things, and I've tried playing songs in different ways, and what I end up deciding on is what I think works the best for a live show and communicating the energy that I feel like the song deserves. So, yeah.
I would like to thank you for playing Fountain Square.
That was tight.
It was amazing. We all went. We had a great time. It was amazing. And I also want to thank you for playing Bunbury so many times. It was always a great time. You remember Serpentine Wall, the little...
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. So thank you for doing that. And so I feel like you come here a lot. Do you have anything nice to say about Cincinnati? What do you like about our city and our scene here?
Well, Cincinnati, I will say I've had some very wonderful runs on the river down there, yeah. So it's a beautiful city. It's cool. It's funny. All the times I've been to Cincinnati have been real in-out, like play a festival, and we're hightailing it somewhere, after the show that night. So I had a great time after the Fountain Square show, though. That was such a cool, fun experience. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in general, I've just great vibes here. Good shows, good people. It's a little cold right now, but, I can live.
I saw you at Bonnaroo, and I saw you at Bunbury, and you're playing a pretty, intimate club right now. Bonnaroo was so big, it was like a mountain, or a giant, it was so big. And which would you rather prefer, the intimate club, the local festival, or Bonnaroo, where there's more people than you could ever see?
I think what's fun about what I get to do is that I get the range of experiences. I mean, playing to a large audience is obviously very different. Everything from song selection to just the presentation. You're playing with a giant LED wall behind you and a massive PA and a huge stage, and you're 50 feet from the closest fan. So the kind of connection you're having with people is more about the performance. In an intimate setting like this, it's awesome. You get to get in people's faces. You're sweating on each other. It's like you really connect with the fans directly, which is also a very fun experience. It's kind of more punk rock in a way. And I love it both. I grew up doing, punk shows in people's basements, and that was my bread and butter. But, since I started touring full time, doing the festivals, there's nothing like that feeling too, of just being in front of a sea of people, and it's overwhelming and very invigorating. Yeah.
If you ever had the opportunity to make your own music festival or carnival or something to that vibe, who would be the realistic lineup that you would have headline and play at your own Robert DeLong music festival?
I've actually thought about this a lot. What would I like? I'd love to have a festival that would be you'd have a live electronic stage. So everything from, I don't know, people Younger to people like Tycho. And then I'd have my ambient stage for all my ambient friends and weirdos, listening to Visible Cloaks and I don't know, all that kind of stuff. And then I would want to have a banging techno stage with some Peter Van Hosen and all the kind of legit techno stuff going on. That would be it. I've thought about this a lot. I don't have the money or the capital to invest in this yet, but if you know someone, let me know.
What festivals are you playing this upcoming year? Do you have any booked yet?
I don't have anything that has been announced yet, so You will see.
But there might be festival appearances.
There might be festival appearances. I will be coming to a town near you, maybe.
Well, I think that basically sums it up. Thank you for answering all my questions. Is there anything you want to say to the people on this video one last time before we wrap it up?
Sure. I mean, I had an EP that came out recently called "See You in the Future." 4 songs of doom, and they're great. You should check it out. And I'll have new music coming out hopefully early April. So be on the lookout for that. Tight.
Okay, thank you for talking to us, sir, and we'll see you on stage in a little bit.
All right. See you then. Bye, folks.